Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to today's edition of Candid Talk with Francis Meribeh. And the topic I'm going to deal with today is a Facebook post that I made 8 years ago, which Facebook shoved in my face this morning as an 8-year-old memory, and they wanted me to share it back and get it trending again. And the post was mine, but I took my time and read the script all over again. It was a long post because I wanted to make sure that all that needed to be emphasized, I emphasized in that very post. And it was, and as I take a look at it today, it appeared as if every single thing I said in that post was a prophetic statement, because they are now our Lord right now and here and now today in Nigeria. And the topic of that post was, what is the benefit? Why the clamor by Igbo people for appointment in Buhari's administration? They knew how Buhari became president. They knew that Buhari does not have any love lost between him and the Igbos. It was clear during his campaign, everything that he did. And it surprised me that at that time in the history of the Igbo man and the history of the Igbo nation, our own people were among the people that ran in front to look for appointments with Buhari. They clamor for it, they climb on each other's head and hand and necks, as is common with scramblers, which is how I describe most of those people who parade themselves as Igbo leaders, whose business is to sell Igbo, the Igbo nation and Igbo land and Igbo people to outsiders to line their pocket. I made it clear in that post that I do not see the benefit and the reason for those clamoring, except maybe if these people consider that for them life is enough to just simply be a stooge to foreign nations. You have your own nationality, you have no pride in upholding it, you do nothing to sustain it, you do nothing to build it, but you are happy to go out there and look for the filthy locker, look for ordinary porridge falling from out of the hands of your enemies, of outsiders, a porridge that actually emanated from your own hard labor and your hard work. I don't know when Igbo people started becoming beggars, because that is not our style. The Igbo man, the average Igbo man, will always fight for his own, will always do his own thing, doesn't have to beg, is willing to labor for every single thing he wants. Even if he needs to get that from people, he only sells his abilities and skills to them. His salesmanship is not begging. You sell that you can do this, and of course, when 100 people are lined up from 100 different ethnic nationalities, the Igbo man will always stand out to do his own thing. I was appalled. That was 8 years ago, that our people are running around looking for appointment in a government like Buhari's own. This thing just flashed now. And as he came on Facebook, I picked it up and I decided to make this candid talk, making the topic of today's candid talk. I'm reminded of the fact that right now the same thing is going on. The clamoring is going on. Some people who call and say Igbo political leaders, Igbos do not have any leaders among these politicians that are parading themselves in Nigeria. They don't have any leaders. And if you're an Igbo man and you don't know that, then you are in trouble or part of the problem. So they clamored, and I referred back to the fact that when Obasanjo became, even from Shagari, what was the benefit for the Igbo race, the Igbo nation? From all the Igbo people, we had a vice president that time in that government, and ministers and many other appointments. What did the Igbo man get out of it? What do we see of Igbo land today? Is it not a continuing dwindling of a people who have lost their way? Is it not what is on ground for the Igbo man right now? A people who have lost their way, and the dwindling that follows a people that have lost their way. Today, even before, during the last elections, Igbo people were willing to sell their own brothers and sisters. It was even very clear that an Igbo man was clearly the front runner in the 2023 presidential election. It was clear. Won the election by all means, and yet there were Igbos who did not see that as an opportunity to raise their voice, even if it is for the first time in their life, for what is right. They continued in the former ways, as if everything is still okay. Or is it that these people are not seeing? And in that post, I made it clear that the Igbo man does not need the Nigerian government to be able to do anything, even within Nigeria. Actually, the target should be beyond Nigeria. The target of the every Igbo man should be way beyond Nigeria. But then, we are still in Nigeria by cohesion, and even now we are still in Nigeria by cohesion. The Igbo man should not even be put down. The Igbo man can still be who he is and win, even in the circumstance, because everything is clear. If any people in Africa want to have any life at all, the Igbo man must be part of that equation. Everything that this country, called Nigeria, can raise its hand and head and say, this is our achievement, this is what we are getting, the Igbo man is at the center of it. Look at this, all the former administrations. It is the presence of the Igbo men that gave them the legitimacy and even the capacity to assuage and do any little thing that kept the polity stable. Look at the time that Buhari took over and made everything about Fulani. The country went so fast in dwindling, so fast in dwindling. That is because the Igbo man is not a key player there. So do we not know that this is evidence of our power, our own ability to decide how things will run in this country by ourselves, or to do our own thing minus Nigeria? I'm surprised and worried that we're not seeing these things. So there were Igbos in Shagari's administration, no impact for Igbo land. There were Igbos in Buhari's first foolish effort to misrule Nigeria. Nothing was there for the Igbo man. There were Igbo people prominent in Babangida's administration. There was nothing there for the Igbo land. When Obasanjo came, all through Abacha, all of them, Igbo people were in prominent positions, nothing for the Igbo man. Obasanjo came, the Igbos predominated his establishment. There was nothing in it for the Igbo land. Of course, we know what happened during Jonathan. We even thought that Igbo people even operated as if Jonathan is their own. When Jonathan himself had not said, I'm yours, the Igbo people claimed Jonathan as their own. And they gave all their all. They sacrificed their chances to even build alliances elsewhere. And what is the end? What was inside it for the Igbo man? Nothing. Of course, there were Igbos in Buhari's administration, with the one that raised this very question in the first place 8 years ago on Facebook post. Why the clamor for appointment in Buhari government? That was the topic of the post. And they were there. What was in it for the Igbo man? Nothing. The point I'm making with all of this is that the Igbo man does not need the Nigerian government. The Igbo man does not need the rest of Nigeria. The Igbo man does not need anybody except themselves to raise the national ethos of the Igbo man, to grow the nation, to make it what it ought to be, and provide a place for the posterity of the Igbo man to thrive. To thrive. What we are doing is something that will union the Igbo land. What the Igbo people, so-called politicians, and they call themselves political leaders, I call them rulers. They are no different from the rogue British administration that colonized Africa, many parts of Africa, including Nigeria. They are no different from rogue Fulani that have been vandalizing this country. If not for the enormous resources, the country would have been totally vandalized long ago. But now I think it's already coming out. So the point is, the Igbo man needs to focus on where he is. And business people in all other climes control politics. Stay where you are, amass all the wealth that you need, then control politics so that you put politicians who will do what will sustain the Igbo land. Don't go cap in hand begging anybody for anything. You don't need it. And then if we really need to do anything, if Igbo people need to do anything, it is to ensure that anybody who ascends the throne of a governor in Igbo land, of the 5 states that are in Igbo land, that person is held responsible or destroyed. It's either the person is responsible and does what he ought to do, fulfills the mandate he has taken, instead of bowing to the Fulani to get office in Igbo land. You first bow to Fulani, you get office in Igbo land, and then you do nothing for the Igbo people, and then everything stays ruined. Let's get these governors. These governors need to do what they ought to do. And let me begin the appeal in the right place. If you're a human being, I mean, you are a human being, you are not an animal, you are not a beast, you are not a thief and a rogue, and you lay your hand on power in Igbo land, think about the state of the Igbo land today and go to work for the land. That land will bless you, that land will preserve you, preserve your posterity, and help you to have the launching pad you need to take the world. If governors, I'm making this appeal first, next it won't be an appeal. The next one will be a curse. M ga-agọ polishi ndị asị na ha na-abụ gọvanọ n'ala Igbo ka ala Igbo kugbuo ha ma ha continue na-eme ụdị ihe ha na-eme. But first, I want to appeal to you. If you get these positions, know what it means. It means that the spirit of the Igbo is asking you to serve the people of Igbo land, to help, to build. But if you take the style of the Fulani and start vandalizing Igbo land, stealing everything you see in front of you, like most of the governors have been doing in the last 20-30 years. Since governors, people like Okpara stopped being governor, there have been no other governor of use in the whole Igbo land until Peter became, and showed that you can be a governor for the people and develop the land and build it. Though Umahi sold his soul to the Fulani, but Umahi also, of course, I know he took loans from the Arab banks and all of that, but then he used that money to build up the state of Ebonyi. And I am a personal living evidence that he built physical development in that place is outstanding. And he built around the whole state, not to paint Abakaliki, the capital of the Ebonyi state. No, all the other places, they got roads, they got infrastructure, they got this going. He may have done this dubiously in other ways or use our Islamic bank loans, which means a problem for the people of the land. But it is still our money that will pay for those loans ultimately, therefore, he needed to do the right thing for people. And in my own opinion, he tried. But then, what do we have in the rest of the land? Rogues, rogue rulers. At least the example of P2B, others should copy it. The man that replaced P2B, the only thing his wife said at a campaign is, everybody should come and start drinking. You didn't drink during Obi, come and drink. This our government is enjoyment. And they wasted the money and people of Anambra State doing nothing useful. Why these things came up is that 8 years ago, these thoughts were put on paper. They surfaced this morning on Facebook. A reminder. So this is a reminder that yes, you guys can continue to do what you're doing, but you will pay. I will not cost your pay. There's a law in nature that takes care of all these things. It is even already happening to all of you people. All those who were former everything, overalls, governors, presidents of Nigeria, where are they? Where are their children? Everybody must go down 6 feet. When you go down, what will be more important is what you did for the land. And Igbo Land wants her children to wake up now. Otherwise, he himself will strike all of them dead. That time is coming. The next time I talk about these things, it will be Igbo on the head of all those who ascend thrones in Igbo Land, whether as governors or Ezes or Igwes or whatever. All of you that do them for your personal pocket, Allah, the land, Igbo Land will strike you dead. It will first strike you mad, then strike you as an imbecile, water running from your mouth while you are quiet and sitting and standing, or sitting or standing. You will be shaking because the land cannot hold you. The whole of your body will be quaking while standing on the land until you die a shameful death. That's what is coming. It will not be by my hand. It will be by the spirit of Igbo Land, by the spirit of the land. It's coming. Mana mkpa ọ dị ka ndị dị ka mụnwa kwuo okwu taa bụ na ọ bụghị ajụ ihe ga-adabido unu ka m na-achọ. Ihe m na-achọ bụ ihe ọma ga-eru mmadụ niile aka, ga-eme Igbo niile abụrụ ebe onye ọbụla nwere ohere ime ihe mara mma na ihe bara uru ga-esi na ya nweta onwe ha. Ọ gwụkwala ya bụ mbọ m na-agba, onweghị ihe ọzọ. Ana m arịọsi unu jisie ike, mee nke kwesịrị na ime, mee ka ala Igbo bụrụ ebe mepere emepe, mee ka ala Igbo bụrụ ebe ụmụ ha ga-aga gbaa mbọ na-alọta, mee ka ala Igbo ọ dị unu n'aka. Ọ bụrụ unu na-emeghị ya, ala Igbo ga-akụgbuchi unu niile. Ọ ga-ebu ụzọ kụọ unu ọrịa, ọ nọ n'ala ahụ egbe, ọkụchi unu ka ahụ ya kụọ unu ọnụ mmiri asụ, unu gara agbọ mmiri n'ọnụ unu dị ndụ tupu ya ewere ndụ unu n'ihere. Ụmụ unu niile ga-agba ọsọ gbafuo. Akụlilu unu kpara ga-ere dịka nke Mobutu Sese Seko. Unu ahụ ọkwadle na ahụ ọkwala ụlọ Sese Seko rụrụ ebe ahụ, his presidential palace. Unu ahụ na picture ya la tuta. Ọ bụ otu ọ ga-adịrị unu niile ihe ọ sọrọ unu rụọ. Mana ekele dị Chineke na enwere ohere ịgwata unu okwu taa. Unu gee ntị, mee ka ihe dị iche lagwa unu n'akpa. Ọgwụkwọ oke ọha n'ọnụ taa. Ndewo. Ekelela m na otu unu ji gee ntị.